Hello. Lovely. Do you want to come exploring with me? No? Not sure. Alright. I'll just go on my own then. See you later. Morning everybody. I've got some friends with me today. I'm on the Hardwick estate and I'm going to show you some hidden, and they are technically hidden, air raid shelters, which is really exciting, and we're going to investigate them. I'm going to take you along with me. Unfortunately, the horses can't come along with me, but I tell you what, look at that. So, it's really weird, in this sort of depression, that's the Thames. So we're literally following the Thames as it heads westward. So, how amazing is that? How beautiful. Oh, it's morning dew. Just what the doctor ordered. Right. Should I be facing? I'll try and face in the light. Say good. Right. There we go. Right. Come on in. Let's go. Let's go find some air raid shelters. Well, believe it or not, that's an air raid shelter. That's one of the ones I need to find. I'll tell you what, blinking you miss it though, I'm assuming the rest of them are here. Yeah, it looks like it. You can't really see it, but there's a mound. And it was only when you walk around here that you see an entrance. How incredible. I'm looking forward to this. Come on. I'll be damned. Look at this. Oh my god. Look at what is going on here. There's like a mat there. That's weird. Look at this. Well, it's definitely an air raid shelter. I'm assuming the others are going to be the same. That's the escape hatch, everybody. And that is the original ladder. And that, where are you, mate? There's our spider. Look at this. Well, I'll be. I will be damned. And then if you look here, there's a toilet, or would have been a toilet. But what's really interesting about this one is that you would have had a bit of privacy, because it looks like there's a latch. Now whether that's original to that, I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because you've got the wooden framing over. Isn't that incredible? And then, is that like one of the pipes for a toilet? Must be. Wow. I didn't think I was expecting to see this on this already. But look at this. Well, honestly, I'm in shock. I sort of came here and sort of realised that I think they've labelled it as 4 air raid shelters. And we're on the Hardwick estate. So for your brief history bit of lesson, the sad truth is that I couldn't actually find that much history. So there's two theories, both of them revolve around the Hardwick estate, which is literally just there. So the first theory is that the Hardwick estate at one point might have been World War II government, and this is why they built these air raid shelters. Although I couldn't find anything to suggest that the Hardwick estate was then used for World War II government purposes at all, or it's just that the estate, because of how large it is, I mean it's huge here, these were just for the workers. So, because I'm assuming they still would have had horses and everything else, loads of stables here, it's an amazing amount of stables, so there still would have been a lot of workers here. So either way, but what I'm amazed at is not only the condition, okay, the floor's a bit grubby, but come on now. But we've still got, in theory, I'm hoping we've got 3 more to find. But they are, if they're going to look as good as this, in terms of how brilliant they are, especially with the toilet cubicle thing on it, I think we're going to be alright, you know. How incredible. And it's just that typical sort of steps are very narrow and shallow, especially in autumn now we're sort of slipping and sliding. But isn't that just incredible? With the escape hatch and everything. Well, so let's move on to the others then, because I don't want to spend too long. They are pretty much going to be identical from what I know. So, but I'll tell you what, I mean, I'm absolutely in shock by how well kept they are. The fact there is a cubicle, because I swear I saw something about that they'd said, oh, there's a toilet thing. I was like, well, okay. And you come here and it's the first thing you're greeted with. Well, let's go find the others then. Right, so as you come out of this one, straight away you're confronted with the next one. I'm just going to sort of show you this, because this is the escape hatch. And now, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. So in theory I could just drop down the escape hatch, because look, the ladder's actually still stuck there, which I love. Look at that, it's actually staying in there in its original position, so that'll be quite exciting. But if you notice, this escape hatch, normally they're square. This one's circular and it's got bricks around it, it almost looks like a chimney. So that in itself is interesting. How brilliant. So I'm standing on the next one. I'm in love with this. I'm loving this. They might be tiny air raid shelters, but how brilliant are they? Wow. Come on in. Oh dear. There's a bit of graffiti in there. Okay, I'll show you that bit of graffiti there. It just made me laugh. So yeah, it's quite funny. Now, it's quite easy actually. I thought that these would be quite difficult to find. Well, they are, because they're well camouflaged. However, this is number 2. There's number 3, as you can see here. Look at that. Now that, I wonder if that was the cap for the top of the escape hatch. So they just sealed that off. Looks interesting. Looks right dimensions for it. See, that's interesting in itself. You can see that. It looks like a mushroom stall, and I wonder if that might have been to be placed on top of the escape hatch. But anyway, right. You've got... Alright, let's just go and have a look at this. So, obviously, for younger people out there, please don't watch this, I'm warning you. But we've got boobs. Apparently Holly loves boobs. So fair play to you, Holly. Oh dear. But unfortunately, maybe what Holly didn't realise is that is actually the original door. Maybe she did. Maybe she was so happy she wrote boobs to celebrate her happiness. So that is the original door for this door frame. So we've got the original green, got the original latch. There we go again. Same layout. Oh, brilliant. Right, so into number 2, as you can see. Same layout, but this one, as we saw from the top, the ladder is still attached. Just notice those spiders' webs there. So, look, that is still in its fixed position. Isn't that brilliant? You've got, I'm assuming you've got a little pipe there as well, which I'm assuming it's next to a cave spider. There's a few cave spiders in there. And that's really it. They're exactly the same layout, although every single one, there's another pipe there, just making notes. Doesn't seem to be anything else. Oh no, tell a lie, look at that. That looks like a light, or could have been a light. Might be wrong on that, but it looks very eerily like one. It's one of those tiny ones that you'd find. There's actually some ties there as well. Again, blinking you'd miss those. Nice bit of detailing. On the floor, slightly different. Got a few more bits of wood and everything else in here, as you'd expect. Bottles and God knows what. But it's okay, because Air Raid Shelter number 2's got boobs. So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I just constantly am amazed at when I go into places and see the amazing graffiti, offensive or not offensive, and I'm like, you know, who decides to do that? So again, this would have been the toilet. Bits of debris. There's an old heater there. And there's a little stall there. But again, beautifully constructed. You've got these massive concrete sliders across with a brick again, similar to Stanton shelters. And again, this beautiful design, amazing really. And then coming out to our narrow little steps. Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Oh. Right, okay, so we're at Air Raid Shelter number 3. Really easy to find. I genuinely thought these would be a bit more difficult. I mean, they're well camouflaged. And again, what we can find is on the third one, the escape hatch ladder, or the escape ladder is still attached to the escape hatch. This one now this is interesting. You'll note this is a massive concrete ring around this, instead of bricks. Now the only escape hatch we haven't looked at was the first one. But I'm not too fussed about that, and that was overgrown, so I think when we were in there we looked up, it was quite overgrown. But the other two are interesting. So the second one's got a brick cylindrical shape for the escape hatch. This one's got concrete. Fascinating. Very interesting. I'm trying to see, there is bricks around it. I don't know why I've got a torch. Sorry. There's bricks around it, and then I'm standing on concrete here. Hard to tell. You can see it just through the marbling, just through there. Now, this could be fun. Oh. Down. Just saw some edging of concrete here as well. Where did I see that? Ah, there. So that is, if you can see that, there's some bricks there. Trying to scatter that out. That displays the corner of the Air Raid Shelter. Interesting. Looks like they've tried to, on this one, grate it over with some mesh. Can you see that? That if I ping that, looks like that should have gone over, maybe to stop people or animals from falling in. How absolutely amazing. I'm totally blown away by this. Let's have a look at it. Let's actually get in it. So that's number 3, Finger of Doom. And that's our last one, number 4. And so behind us is the actual Hardwick estate, the actual main building. Well, you can't see that from here. Right. Come on then. See what interesting bits of graffiti we can see in here. Oh, there's something there. Oh no, it's about Boris Johnson. So yep, we'll try to ignore that. Don't want to get involved. Now, before we enter, it'd be nice to actually look at the tops of these, so you can see the concrete cap. with some brick on the side here. It's extremely well built. Probably one of the more solid air raid shelters I've seen in a long time, or series of them anyway. And here's number 4 there again, same. Right, let's have a look. Well, and again, same again, everybody. Although, wow. Oh wow, okay, so this one's completely different. Bit of graffiti in here. Tame, rage, conquer fear, surrender to love. I love that. Oh wow, oh, don't know what I'm treading on, leaves. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Oh no, I love this. If you're the person who designed this, wow. Totally different than the other ones. All of a sudden, this is just completely different. Looks like a tree of life. Isn't that incredible? And look, a couple of handprints. How incredible. That beautiful calligraphy on that. Oh, I love that. I really love that. And then again, so we're looking at our escape hatch. Looking up. And then again, it's fixed, which is brilliant. It's shining this gorgeous beam of light down. Again, looking up, looks like a lighting fixture, as we sort of said. The cleanest one so far. It's almost like it's been purposely cleaned, because you can see this rubbish here has been moved across. Absolutely brilliant. Totally sold on this. Wow. Like I said, it's very similar to the others, and we'll probably find that in the 4th one. So let's go, come on. Right, okay, so we're looking at the air shaft number 4, or air raid shelter number 4, and we're looking down the escape hatch. You can see there's a concrete block that's just fallen in, but the ladder is still attached. You can just about see that. Looks a little bit dirty in there. Looks like they've attached a chain, can you see that, to this one, almost like a plug. Wow. I'm absolutely amazed at, I'll probably say it with air raid shelters and stuff anyway in general, but when you see 4 in a sequence, and all 4 of them are totally different from one another, it really does highlight something very special about the stories that they can tell for the individuals who've probably explored them, and just sort of like what they've left. Like I said, when you see these stunning bits of graffiti in there, for example, you know, absolutely brilliant, isn't it? You know, it adds on to the history of this beautiful little location that we're in. Well, okay. Oh, blimey. This one's got to be the most overgrown of the lot. How amazing. Right, let's wangle our way in. Oh, blimey. Wow, okay. So this one, we'll look at the toilet first as we enter. But actually, not too bad. Not too bad. So there's a toilet. Again, very similar, lots of wood on the floor. And then here's our air raid shelter. Right, so first thing I wanted to try and do was look at this. It looks like a concrete plug for this one. You can see the chain is totally detached here to this shelter. It's a lot darker in here now. My torch is doing the best it can, but it is very dark in this one anyway. There's a radioactive graffiti sign there, because, you know, why not? And it's a shame, this one's got a darker, it's a little bit more, as you can see, it's just a little bit, I mean, it's overcast now anyway, so I think it's going to rain at any point. Luckily, this is what I wanted to try and do, because I thought if I'm doing air raid shelters, well, it doesn't matter if it rains, does it really, because I'm going to be indoors, well, you know, in here, so. But yeah, there you go. Exactly the same as the others, except the litter, as you can see, is just the same old sort of wood and everything else that you'd expect. Where's our light? See, look, our little light fixture is covered by a spider. So there you go. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Well worth it. Yeah, it's getting a bit dark out there anyway. My torch isn't helping because it's dying. Brilliant though. Look at that. Interesting sound of a plane going over. Which is what the real reason why we're in here, isn't it? To protect, well, it would have been to protect from the sounds of those planes. Well, I mean, the actual shelters are fantastic condition. The bricks have held up remarkably well. You know, they really have. Absolutely fantastic. But they are what they are. They're these rectangular blocks. Like I said, they look very similar to, I want to say they're Stanton shelters. But, this is, talk about being overgrown. There we are. This lovely little framing that goes around. Interesting that one, that the fact that it's got this concrete plug on it, which suggests that that other one that we'd seen had got a concrete plug on it as well. So yeah. Well, we're done. How remarkable. So we're standing at the final point now, so that's number 4. Number 3's there, number 2's just there, and number 1 all on this side of the road. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to continue my walk now, not for filming purposes, just because this path goes all the way to the opposite side. So we're on the Hardwick estate, although this is a footpath. Well, this is a path, a public path that I'm on. The air around here is absolutely stunning. It was a lovely drive this morning as well to get here, so I'll just say a final few things. I apologise for the fact that my torch started giving out on the 4th one, but you could see that anyway. But yeah, off to just do some walking today really, get some fresh air, you know how it is. That was so worth it, wasn't it? I'm sorry that I didn't do a huge amount of editing style on this, but I wanted to sort of do it a bit old school. Me with the camera, you looking at it, experiencing it the same as me, you know, in terms of just going in there together, looking at it, and hopefully you appreciated that. But just thought I'd do that as a bit of a one-off really. Old school Phoenix history, pre-Phoenix history, for all of you lot out there who remember that. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Any more words of Phoenix history, because history matters. Fantastic, weren't they? And will we ever know the true extent of what those air raid shelters are for? Well, we know they're air raid shelters, so that's enough for us, isn't it, really? We know they're for the Hardwick estate. Yeah, brilliant. Stay safe no matter what you're doing. I'll see y'all very soon. Kapow.